Our goal was to use data provided by Code Willing to predict stock prices. And in turn, our predictions would be used to create weights for a portfolio of stocks that we would be trading. And our goal was to create the most accurate predictions using these data and this model that they provided to make our portfolio as profitable as possible.
This is my first time participating in the Datathon. So I actually learned quite a lot. Like the first thing is that the Linux command lines. Like I learned so much about that. And then this Datathon is basically about using a lot of like everyday data. Like you see those macro data, the GDP, the CPI, the interest rate, and then we use those as input of our model. And then with some machine learning algorithm, it outputs what we desire, which is the stock price return prediction. And then we use that to make prediction of basically stock price and then do a long-short strategy.
My role here was that of a mentor. So I was there to basically coach my team, how to approach these problems, like maybe, help them a bit digest it, break it down into its core components, how to approach different data sets and not be overwhelmed with the overall task of like coming out with the best model. Because as we've seen, I think it's pretty hard even to discern in what is the best model in the end of this, right? There are so many metrics that you have to keep an eye out, gotta fit the model, but it performs differently on every year. So, how do you break this down, make it easy to come up, or at least from a rational point of view?
I think working with Richard was very insightful, both into like how to work with the data, how to develop models. He talked to us about his day-to-day and things like that. And that was also really insightful just about whether or not you actually want to go into the industry, because I think most of us are still like very much deciding.
Today was a very good introduction. It's sort of, maybe not like, I struggled to keep up a little bit, but I think it was very good, like sort of throwing you into the deep end and sort of seeing if you like it, what you learned about it, what you didn't like so much about it. And so it opens a lot of doors in the future on what you want to study, what you want to do, but also sort of builds a very good foundation for if you do want to pursue something like this. Okay, well, this is a sort of like an entry level you can expect to do this in the industry and even as a beginner.
In class at school, what I learned is a lot more about theoretical things. So like it seems like I'm solving equations, but that the answer for that equation is always fixed. Like I never play with a lot of like data sets, and I'll try to find out some kind of like trend and what can perform well or not under some kind of like data set. So in this setting, I feel like I learned a lot about like what's going on, like what people are using in the real world, and I feel like that's a more practical approach, and it kind of like led me into just thinking about what should I do next and what kind of skills I need to obtain in the future.
I learned a lot today. I think at first it was very daunting because it was a lot, but at the same time, I think if it had not been for this like experience, I would not have learned so much. So it was very rewarding.
This kind of experience is really like helpful for all of us, especially when we are like in the early years in the school.
It was overall a very fun experience, and we had a good rapport in the team.
Yeah, good team.
Yeah, good team. Yeah.